court-based noise level
It echoes,
feel.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it just emphasises the lack of atmosphere rather than builds the atmosphere. And there's just the lack of sound in this game, the lack of atmosphere, meant the game didn't feel in its concluding stages to be as tense as the action on the field deserved to make it feel. Because I think this was actually a much better cup tie, not a high quality performance by both sides by any means. Huddersfield put in a lot longer a shift than they have done in most games this season that I've seen from them. Saints made a lot of errors in the game, but the intensity was there in the play, in the collisions. I mean, but it just felt like it wasn't because of the atmosphere situation, and that that's something I wish we could address somehow. I'm not sure how, but I'd love that to be fixed up because this game deserved to be edge of the seat in the last 20 minutes, and it never quite felt like it was.
No, no, I'd agree with that. I think I'm partly projecting on that one because this was like the God knows how many games I'd watched this weekend. So
Yeah.
it felt slightly like I was reaching the end of my tether, not really realising which game was which. But I mean, to be fair to it was quite absorbing in the terms of the way that they were kind of bouncing off each other. In terms of, it seemed like Saints were going to establish a lead and then kind of the Giants would get back into it and kind of do something good. So it was always, as you say, it almost felt like it was in the balance without you really fearing that St Helens wouldn't ultimately do something that kind of made the difference.
Yeah, that's true. All the moments of explosion pretty much felt like they were from St Helens, apart from the Wardle break. Yeah, but well played Huddersfield, and slightly plucky performance there for them that didn't quite match up to Saints, who go marching on
They do.
into the quarterfinals, where the draw has already been made. The ties are to be played on the weekend of the 1st and 2nd of June, but actually the Thursday and the Friday as well of that week.
Yeah.
The draw as it came out is St Helens versus Wakefield, Bradford versus Halifax, so there will be a championship side at Bolton in the semi-finals, Hull KR versus Warrington, and Hull FC versus Catalans. We had a viewing from Tom Andrews on his team's draw, the Hull Kingston Rovers draw. Do you want to read that out?
Yeah, so Tom says it's at home, so I'll take it. Have to beat the best to be the best. That's true. Interesting predicament for the RFL. Should the odds not be right and the Facts/Bulls reach Wembley, what do they do if they're also in the 1895 final? Well, they did qualify that this evening about what we need to do in terms of our 1895 fixtures.
Okay.
And it basically means that after the quarter-final, we're heading up to Barrow on a Wednesday night, which is just what you want. So, I mean, to be honest, I'd been joking about playing in both finals, but if we were to qualify for the 1895 final, but also got to the Challenge Cup final, we would forfeit the 1895, and the loser of the semi-final would go and play in the match instead. So I'm kind of minded to put all my eggs in one basket, particularly now we've drawn Halifax in the quarterfinals, and just send the academy up to Barrow for the 1895.
The academy could give them a run. You never know.
They probably could, and to be honest, that's probably the best thing to do because we need to be committed. We need to get through the quarterfinal. We need to get to the semi. We need to, that needs to be our focus, I would say. So the 1895 was going to be a nice distraction if we got knocked out of the cup. We haven't been knocked out yet, so we have to focus on the main event.
Well, the fact that you're playing on the Sunday, on the Wednesday, the way the TV games have been drawn out doesn't help that turnaround, does it? Because it's going to be Hull FC versus Catalans on the Thursday night on Sky, and Hull KR versus Warrington on the Friday night. And Sky didn't want to schlep their equipment across the Pennines or too far a distance. On the Saturday afternoon on BBC One, it's St Helens versus Wakefield in the All Super League tie there. Probably arguably the tie of the round, and then on the Sunday, Bradford versus Halifax to see which championship side will make the semi-finals, and the semi-final draw will be after the conclusion of that fixture, which is going to be shown on BBC Two on the Sunday afternoon. So there you go. In terms of predictions, I was 5 out of 8 for those those round 6 games, and Rich, who did the show with us last week, was also 5 out of 8. So that's
because he just copied.
Sorry, we had one different each, and
oh right,
yeah, I had Hull over Cass, and he had Saints over Huddersfield. That we went different on, but that leaves me at 67% for the year so far. You're still leading the way out of the regulars, 69%. Sarah on 67%, and Tim on 58%. But he's going to be back from his month off soon, so he's going to have a chance to make some headway before Sarah gets another chance after Magic Weekend. So, thanks for all the fan reviews in there. Make sure you send your fan reviews in on next weekend's games for the guys to go through on the next show. God, there were some controversial moments and some exciting moments to go through there in those reviews. So it probably took a little bit longer. Maybe my segue into my slipping into the dark world of the refereeing decisions against Wigan maybe took us too far. We spent ages on double movement, but it needs clearing up. But we're going to move now on to other results from around the world of Rugby League. So it's other results from around the... Do you know what, Alan? I've forgotten who was doing which one.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll roll through the championship, and then we'll just go. We'll go from there. So
other results.
Yeah, so other results now from around the world, and in a catch-up fixture from round 6 that was postponed at the last minute. It didn't affect York though, so it finished Rochdale 18, York 24. So that catch-up means that York move up to 3rd, but Rochdale stay bottom ahead of the Summer Bash.
Well, competitive though, Rochdale there.
Yeah,
so they'll be
close.
Pleased with that. Into League One, there was 2 catch-up fixtures, one from round 1 and one from round 4. So the round 1 catch-up was London Scholars versus North Wales, and it was London 19, North Wales 18. Dramatic late win for the Scholars. We'll find out what that does for their position in the standings down the way. But the round 4 catch-up game, which was rearranged because of Workington's Cup exploits, finished Coventry 41, Workington 30, and our friend Tim got in touch, Tim G, who you can hear a little bit more from on the Coventry Bears fan podcast, The Bare Necessities, but he also got in touch with us to say, fantastic day at Broad Street to see our first win against a Cumbrian team in the league. A wide pitch with Big in goal suited the Bears. An early try to the visitors spelled danger, but Nick Newman has his best game in a Bears shirt to take us to 28-6 at half-time. 2 quick tries made it look ominous. However, 2 quick Workington tries made it look ominous. However, as the big forwards of town tired, the Bears got back into the game to close it out in style with a drop goal. #Cobb. Yeah, it sounds like basically loads of long-range tries on a big pitch against the old forwards of Workington Town for Coventry Bears there. So great win for the Bears, and that means in the standings, Scholars win. That takes them joint top behind Whitehaven only on points difference. Workington, more on that in a sec. Workington fall to 7th. Coventry in 8th are behind Workington only on points difference now, and North Wales fall to 9th with Coventry jumping up over them. The league table looks very strange.
It does.
Because the team who are joint top have a negative points difference.
Yeah.
But the team who are 3rd bottom and the team who are bottom have a positive points difference, but that's because it's Keighley who are arguably the best side in the competition so far at this stage, or one of the best sides in the competition, but had all the points deductions. So in effect, 2nd bottom have a positive points difference, which is just mind-blowing. That team with 2 wins has positive points difference, and a team with 7 wins or 6 wins has a negative points difference.
Isn't this I think it's the West Wales effect, isn't it? Because North Wales beat them handily. And obviously their losses have obviously been close losses, generally speaking.
Yeah, they have suffered some agonising defeats.
1 point, 1 here and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, it is weird. It doesn't quite ring true, does it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah. So 2 wins for the North Wales Crusaders, but they have a plus 19 points difference, 2 out of 7. Whereas 5 wins out of 8 and 1 draw for the London Scholars, and they have a minus 35 points difference. So absolutely bonkers stuff. But it's a league where anything goes and anyone can beat anyone. And into another league where, we're not quite sure how it's going to be settling, but it's starting to take some shape in the Women's Super League, where it was round 4, Al.
It does, yes. So on the Our League app, it was Castleford 30, St Helens 14. Fat Boy Rob got in touch with this one, said, I watched this on the app, where Dave Parkinson does an excellent commentary, but over 800 fans turned up to watch this top-of-the-table clash. Cas were too strong over the 80 minutes, with Stanley, Roach and Marshall standing out again. Saints lost a couple of players to injury and lost Crowell when a yellow turned into red for dissent. The skill levels have improved since last season. Come on, you Ford. And there were 3 other games over the weekend. So it was Wakefield 8, Featherstone 40, Wigan 4, Leeds 12, and York 4, Bradford 40.
Okay, it was the magic round down under, round 9 of the NRL, where everyone headed to Brisbane to play a full round of fixtures in the one stadium. Over 4 days is how the NRL delivered this. Alan Walker got in touch on the concept. He said, great concept, don't know where they got it from. The flying fox camera is exceptional. It can be a bit airsick inducing, but as they said, you feel like you're Alfie Lager at times, and those cameras on remote control buggies are top. Can they send the kit to Anfield? Please, some Brill matches too. And in terms of the matches, it started with the Titans going down 26 points to 18 to the Sharks. The West Tigers battered the Penrith Panthers 30 points to 4. Manly were beaten by the home side Brisbane 26 points to 10. It was 22-10 for the Knights over the Bulldogs. The Warriors overcame the Dragons in a really exciting game that was going one way and then the other. 26-18. James Graham did play for the Dragons and did the double, 41 tackles and 106 metres. The Storm battered the Eels. The Eels look great at home, but not so much elsewhere. 64 points to 10 when the Storm hit full form there. The Roosters beat the Raiders in a top 4 clash. It was 30 points to 24. 3 of our boys played for the Raiders, though Whitehead had a try assist. Hodgson and Sutton also played. I think Hodgson picked up a slight knock in this game, but should be okay. Obviously, John Bateman's injured still at the moment. And then final game of the round. So the Rabbitohs beat the Cowboys 32 points to 16 on familiar ground for Rabbitohs coach Wayne Bennett, obviously. Sam Burgess had 1 try and 156 metres. Tom Burgess had 167 metres, and George Burgess also played. In terms of the standings, that means the Roosters and the Rabbitohs stay as the top 2, both on 16 points. The Storm have 14 and the Raiders have 12 to make up the top 4. The next 4 sides all have 10 points. That's the Sea Eagles, the West Tigers, the Sharks and the Eels. The Knights and the Dragons sit just outside the top 8 on 8 points. Broncos, Warriors and Cowboys come next before the bottom 3 all on 4 points, which are the Titans, Panthers and Bulldogs pulling up the rear. That's all the results from around the world of Rugby League. Well and truly wrapped up. So we're now going to jump into looking forward mode with our predictions for round 15 of Super League, which includes the big game at the new camp, or the Camp Nou, and also the big round of fixtures in Blackpool as the Summer Bash is on the cards again. Predictions then, Alan, and we've got a lot to go through because we're going to talk about the Summer Bash in detail too, I think, because it's only fair that when the Championship has its weekend in the sun, we give it some attention. And it should be warm up on the Fylde coast.
It's warming up, isn't it?
It should be warm. It's been a very glorious day on the Fylde coast today. If it can keep it up for the week, then you'll have a fantastic weekend for the Summer Bash. But before we get to that, let's get through round 15 of Super League, which kicks off on Thursday night, the traditional 7:45pm Super League kickoff time on Sky. Leeds versus Castleford. So it's the big opening of the rest of the stadium. So what that just means, I think, is people will be sat further apart from each other. But but that's what we're going to see on Thursday night for Headingley's big big moment with a big game between two sides out of form. And I'll let you have first dibs on this one.
Yeah, as you say, two teams bang out of form, but there's one team